Welcome back to the channel. Happy Labor Day, and thank y'all for hanging with me on this Monday. So this is the time of year where I really feel like a chatterbait is a good mid-range and shallow bait that you can go locate bass that you don't know could be in 7 feet or in 1.5 feet, and you got to find them in between that depth range. Now the chatterbait is a really interesting lure because we have some that cost $5 and we have some that cost $15. So what is the big difference? And I think it's important to note that the blade metal is different on a jackhammer. Now the jackhammer is widely the most popular chatterbait out there, also the most expensive, and my favorite in that 1/2 ounce size. I throw the Thunder Cricket a little bit in the smaller sizes, but the half, to me, with that different type of metal, just pulls off the bottom a lot more. And I think that's why you see that 3/4 used a lot more than you used to back in the day when we all had the Z-Man original and the Elite and whatever Project Z and all those other chatterbaits. The 1/2 ounce was about as heavy as you ever saw. Even when guys were taking it out and ledge fishing with it, they still just threw the half. Now you're seeing that 3/4 in that like 6-foot range a lot. But I think it has a lot to do with the design of that blade and the metal that that blade is made out of, because it seems like with that bait, when you start turning your handle and you get it moving, it wants to pull up off the bottom a lot quicker than any other chatterbait I've used. And when you're fishing, let's say 5 feet of water, the cover could be grass, could be wood, is 1 foot or 2 off the bottom. You don't want your bait bogging down. So it does pull it up off the bottom and keep it in the strike zone better than any other chatterbait. I also feel like with that blade, there's less time in between your action and the bait's action. So when you pop that rod, immediately it moves. Same thing as when you speed it up, it comes up faster. So that can be a downside, that can be an upside, but I think it's important to try more than just one size. So in this time of year on Guntersville, the grass grows up, and I've always been a 3/8 ounce guy in the fall time, but it just seems like with that jackhammer, I can fish that 1/2 ounce in the same places I used to fish an old school chatterbait with the 3/8 size, because it keeps it up. It's all about that blade keeping it up. And anytime that I can get away with a heavier bait and not be fighting it against the cover, I'm always going to go with that heavier bait, because when you kill a heavier bait, it goes to the bottom fast. That's what you want. Choked. Same thing with a drop shot or a shaky head where it's hung in the bottom, and you could probably throw an 1/8, but if you throw that 1/4 or that 3/16, it's going to hang up a little bit more, but not to the point where you can't get it out. You pop it, it darts up. Same thing with the drop shot. Instead of using that 1/4 ounce, try that 5/16. It hangs in the bottom a little bit better, gets a reaction bite a lot of times when you can't catch them doing anything else. So could be any bait, a swim jig, a lipless crankbait. If I can get away with that heavier size and the water's not too cold, I'm going with it, because I want that quick darting fall and then bring it right back into the strike zone. Same thing swimming a jig. You could go down the bank with a 1/4 or a 5/16 or a 3/8 and catch fish. But if you can learn how to fish that half where you're burning it, killing it, burning it, pitching it out, letting it fall to the bottom, and really get your action down with that heavier bait, you're going to be a lot better fisherman. Try that. Good luck to you, and I'll see you on the water.